In today's video, I will be showing you examples of how adding A+ content to your books can increase your sales. I will also show you step by step how to create your own A+ content with Adobe Illustrator. In the past, I've tried Canva to create my A+ content, but for some reason the images always came out blurry. But with Adobe Illustrator, I don't seem to get this problem at all. So I hope this helps. Okay, so as I mentioned in my income report video, I've been working on A+ content and I've been using it to give the buyer an insight into what's inside my book. Because for mobile phone users that are looking on Amazon, which is about 60% of people, the look inside feature is not available to them. So this way, if they're on a mobile device, they can see my A+ content and they can view pictures that showcase what's inside my book. And I'll just give you a few examples of how me uploading this A+ content has changed the way my book is selling. So I'll bring it up on the Amazon marketplace and I'll use the Helium 10 Chrome extension to show me how well the book is selling. Okay, so if we scroll down, and as you can see, I created the A+ content for this particular book on the 6th of February, and we can see here how it's improved the sales. So that's the 1st of February. If we come down to the 6th, so it was at 63,000 BSR, and you can see my sales have improved. Obviously it won't go down in a straight line, it will have its ups and downs, but as you can see, overall it's getting a better BSR, and we're currently at 18,000 in the UK marketplace, which is pretty good. Another example, let's click on this one. I'm having to do it this way so I can prove that it's actually my book, not just one I've typed in on Amazon. Okay, so let's look at this one. So sorry, again, again, the A+ content was created on the 7th of February, which was, so this was the 6th of February, and you can see my BSR was 155,000. And then the next day, after putting out my A+ content, it dropped to 26,000 BSR, and it's hovering lower than it was before I put it out there. So that's good. And it's around the 28,000, 43,000 mark now. So to create the A+ content, we need to come into our Amazon bookshelf, select the book we wish to apply the content to, go to Promote and Advertise, and then down here you'll see the A+ content option. So you can choose which marketplace you want to add this to. It's a little bit annoying because you need to do this for every marketplace, but for this example we'll go with .com. Okay, so once we're in this dashboard, we will start creating A+ content. Type in our content name here, so it will be budgeting planner. Okay, and then we can start to add modules. So I tend to use this one here, standard image header with text. And then as you can see, it gives us the dimensions we need. So this is 970 pixels by 600. So what I'll do is I'll go over to Adobe Illustrator and I will create some artboards that are exactly those dimensions. Okay, click New. Put this on pixels. 970 by 600. Okay, and we want 2 artboards. You can do more if you wish, but for this example I'll do 2. and we want to change this to RGB color, and screen. And basically RGB color is better for anything that's being viewed on a screen, like digital products. However, if those products are going to be printed, like your covers for example, it's better to do CMYK color. I won't get into the difference or why it needs to be this way, it just is. Okay, then we can go ahead and create. Okay, so now we have two artboards that are exactly the right dimensions to be uploaded to Amazon. Okay, so first of all, we'll just choose a color for the background. So we'll click on the shape tool, rectangle tool, and we'll drag it from the top left to the bottom right. And then you can add a color. So this is just a quick example. So we'll just go with yellow because that's the money on the side color. Okay. And then we will copy that and put it on the other artboard to keep it consistent. So for the first one, we will show the cover of our book. So as you may have seen from other videos, I've created a budgeting planner before. Okay, so I've just opened up the PDF file from the one I created in BookBolt. Okay, so we need to click on this, and in order to crop it, we need to rasterize the image. So if we go to Object, Rasterize, yep, and then we're able to crop the image. So we'll click on Crop Image here, because we don't want the back cover for this, we just want the front. So we'll check the spacing is okay, the space either side is similar. Okay, and then we can go to Apply. And that's it. So we'll click on that, we will copy it, and we'll go back to our artboards and paste that. Okay, then we can bring it over here, and to make it smaller, we'll click on Shift, and then that will keep it in proportion. Okay, and you can play about with it to get the right position. I'll create a similar shape, so I'll click on the rectangle tool, and I'll just copy that same size, and I'll make it white. Okay, and then I can drag it over here. So now it's consistent. And I'll just get the layers panel up. Okay. So because we'll be playing about with this, what I like to do is lock off the background. Because if we don't, you can move it about and it's just messy. So we'll lock them both off, and that way you can't move them about. Okay, so we can make both of these a little bit bigger if we want, and use up more of the space. And what I like to do is I'll click on the cover, I'll hold Shift, and then I'll click on the box. I'll go to Effect, Stylize, and then you can add drop shadows. And then you can play about with this to get the desired effect. I normally do about 11 pixels, something like that. And that will apply the drop shadow to both of these objects. And you can play about with things to make them look a little bit better. You know, make the space either side the same. It's just good for the viewer's eyes. Okay, and then you can start adding your details on the book. So what I'll do is I'll add another shape here. Something like that. And then to change the color, I'll click on this eyedropper tool. and then we can just pinch one of these colors here. So we'll use the gray to keep it consistent. And then we can start adding some text, and we can just put book details here. Okay, and we can also change the font. So I'll use the same font that I used in the cover design, which is this one. Okay, and then we can make that white to make it stand out more. And then you can make it bigger again if you wish. Okay, that's cool. And then you can start adding some details about, you know, what's good about your book or the features that are inside. So we'll add some more text. And then you can put things like the book size. So that's 6 by 9 inch. 120 pages. And we can also change the font. And we can make it italic if we want, just to make it stand out even more. Okay, and then you can start adding your other details. Okay, so then we can play about with it, make it look better, increase the size. We'll pull this down here, and you can make it centered if you want. So that looks okay for now. Okay, so that looks okay. We can change this to the same color as this, and that looks okay. So we'll move on to the interior of the book now. We can show the viewer what's actually inside if they're looking on a mobile device, which is about 60–70% of people. And on the mobile device, they won't have the look inside feature. So this is the perfect way to showcase what is inside the book. If we go over to our Google Slides example of the interior that I created. So what we'll do is we will go to File, Download, and then we will download it as a scalable vector graphic, SVG. Okay, so we'll do that, and we'll also do that to the page next to it. Okay, and then we'll open that up in Adobe Illustrator. Okay, so we'll click on that, copy it, and paste it. And we'll do the same to the other one. Okay, here, so we'll click on that, copy, and paste. Okay, then we'll select both, hold Shift, and reduce it to a decent size. Okay, and then we'll bring it alongside it. And what I like to do is to add a shape down the middle, which will cast a bit of a shadow, so it looks like an actual book. I'll show you what I mean by this. So if we go over to the rectangle tool, I'll start at the top here, and I'll bring this down. And I'll come over here to where it says gradient, double click on that, and then at the minute that looks a bit rubbish, so we'll tone it down and we'll make this color here by double clicking on it. We'll make it a bit more grey rather than black. Okay, so already that starts to look better. You can slide this along to get the desired effect. Okay, so something like that. And then you can click on this page and then just bring it over. And bring this one out, just so it's symmetrical. Okay, so now that looks like the pages inside of a book. Okay, and then what I'll do is I'll select all of those objects, right click, and then I'll group them together. So they'll all be one object now. And then we can click on that and it'll all be selected, and then we'll add a drop shadow to it again. So we'll go to Effect, Stylize, Drop Shadow, and we can apply the same one as over here. So again, that starts to look a little bit better. It stands out a bit more. Okay, and then we can add more text on the side about the features within the interior. Okay, so we'll go to the text tool and we'll do that. And then we can start writing a few things about the features or information that are shown on these pages. Okay. So obviously this looks a bit rubbish, so we can have a play about with it. I think it'd be better to reduce the size of the font. So something like that. Yeah, we don't want the hyphens there, that looks a bit rubbish. So that starts to look better already. And then we can bring it down. And then I'll change this writing to white. And you're probably thinking that looks terrible. So what I will do is I'll add some shapes like this. And I will make them grey, the same color as this. And to get the shape behind the text, you can hold down Control and the back bracket and keep pressing the bracket until it comes behind like that. Okay, and then you can play about with it to get it to the size you want it. Select it again, Control C, Control V, and that will give you a new one. And again, if you press Control and the back bracket and keep pressing the back bracket, okay, something like that. So if we select all of these boxes, we can add a drop shadow to those as well. So Effect, Stylize, Drop Shadow. Okay, and we can play about with this to get the desired effect. And then it just makes it stand out a bit more. And that is pretty much it. So then what we can do is we'll save this and then we will export it. Save this as budget planner. PNG. And then I'll tick use artboards, and that will save both the artboards here, so the cover and the interior. Okay, click OK. Okay, and then we can come over to the A+ content and then we can start to add our images. So first of all, we'll do the cover, and then you can put your image keywords in here. So just put things, obvious things that you see, put things like budget. You have to put a comma after every one. Planner. And that will do for now. Add. And there you have it. And then we can add another module. Do the same thing, standard image header with text. Click on that. Add the interior picture. And then you could add the keywords for that as well. So income, okay, something like that. Okay, so now you have it. And I never really put anything in the text boxes here because we don't need to add any more information. We already have all the information we need here. So once you're happy with that, you can go to next and apply the ASIN. So here we would just select our book that's already live on Amazon. Okay, so I'll just put any old ASIN that I have, just an example. So we'll select that. And then you can click on apply content. Okay, and that's done. So then you go to next, review and submit. And this is how it will appear on the desktop. Okay, so it's pretty effective. You know, it's consistent with the colors. You can see what's inside exactly. And if you go to mobile, you can see it as well. So you can see everything more clearly. It's more likely to make the customer want to buy because they're not guessing. They're not guessing off the reviews that may be there. So if you can do this, why wouldn't you? If you have a lot of books, I wouldn't recommend doing this to every single one. But if you have books that are already getting sales, this is likely to make your sales increase even more. So once you're happy with everything, you just go to submit for approval. And it's normally pretty instant. And then you can go to the Amazon marketplace that you've applied this to, go to your book, and you should see this displayed pretty much straight away. Okay, and that's it. Done.